here's the bigger thing that I want to talk about. Besides one thing we both will be talking about later on in the college football segment. This is related to Tulane. This is related to Ole Miss. Um, so Ole Miss travels to Tulane this year, week 2, for the final game of the home and home. We played the first home game in 2021.
Yeah, like
it was
a year
at Ole
break,
Miss.
or how exactly did that?
This was when we were stuck in Birmingham. It was our last game before the return to New Orleans. Played in the rain. It was not a fun game for us. That was Matt Corral last season there. Now, obviously, Tulane won the Cotton Bowl. We won the Cotton Bowl last year. We won the conference, right? We have started filling out the stadium. Like everybody's book, it's booking up. This the stadium we have, which I think is like 30,000 people capacity, like 38, small stadium. It's booking out. It's booked out. This is what this is what the Ole Miss athletic director had to say when talking about this. Okay. He was, quote, very frustrated and said, we only got 3,000 tickets. In the past, it was basically an Ole Miss home game in the Superdome. And that they will reevaluate the future of Tulane contracts based on this year. Now, to me, that is the most Charmin Ultra Soft possible explanation thing, whatever you could say as an athletic director. To me, it sounds like they're scared as shit to come play Tulane.
Making sure I have this correct, Ole Miss is saying right now, we need to have more pre-bought just Ole Miss designated tickets because they've already sold out for Tulane. Is that what they're saying?
They're saying that the allotment, so keep in mind, one, there's resale tickets. That's where the majority of the market is, right? Each school gets a select amount of tickets that they sell initially. Yeah. All right.
So what I'm saying is, does Ole Miss want more?
Well, one, when you're at a 70,000 capacity venue, you get more tickets, right? That's just how the allotment works.
I'm just talking percentage-wise.
Two. The statement of, in the past, it has been basically an Ole Miss home game in the Superdome or Ole Miss home game in Yeoman, whatever. That's they're basically saying, oh, because now we have to travel on the road to a packed stadium in enemy territory. It's not going to be our fans there. It's going to be the other team's fans there. We don't want to go anymore. That's what it sounds like to me. And to me, that is really soft. That's
yes, I do think though that right now I'm guessing Ole Miss wouldn't be putting out these complaints unless the numbers are showing that right now Tulane fans are buying up the fucking tickets and that
it's sold out
right now. Yeah. Okay.
Essentially.
So right now on paper, Ole Miss and they're oh fuck, it's going to be a sold out. This is their game of the year. Now they're thinking that they're oh fuck, shit, they're gonna be ranked 2. It's really gonna shit. You guys might get game day there. Not gonna lie, if you guys are gonna be ranked, you really could get game day there. So that's going to be a big ass game. I can understand Ole Miss's concerns. And if, as a USC guy myself, Jackson Dart's not the most inspiring guy at quarterback. So yeah, I'd be scared shitless if I was Lane Kiffin too.
It's just being now we don't know if we want to come anymore because we don't get an easy cakewalk schedule against this team. We get to make our money in an away game. We don't want to go.
Assuming that this was not going to be a marquee matchup on their schedule. I mean, we know how the SEC schedule.
Yeah, no, they're oh, the first 5 weeks. We're going to make it as easy as possible.
They were under the impression that this would be a free auto win for them. But no, that isn't the case anymore. But I'm with you. That is ultra soft. On right now, just on Vivid Seats, it's saying lowest tickets are $90 right now for Ole Miss at Tulane. I'm not sure what your prices are but that seems like it's pretty expensive. So yeah,
I'm pretty those are probably the most expensive tickets we've had besides the championship game.
Yeah, I can understand that definitely being number one, but yeah, those are pretty notable. So yeah, I get that from Ole Miss perspective. Charmin Ultrasoft though, yes, my opinion. I also just kind of in general hate starting 10 years ago, 11 years ago.
The home and homes, you don't like the home and homes
starting. Well, the reason of doing home and homes, when the college football playoff first started, the national perception was that the Big Ten was such a weak conference and that who cares if Ohio State runs the table? They're not as good. as a 1 or 2 loss Pac-12 team or a 1 or 2 loss Big 12 team. That's what people were saying. Now, 5 years after that, everyone was like, oh shit, Big Ten's the second best conference. But Ohio State had scheduled these home and homes like during the 2012, 2013, 14 seasons under the impression that they need an out of conference win to get in the playoffs.
Yeah, Minnesota, by the way, just scheduled home and home with Bama, I think, for like in 10 years from now.
Which, if I was both sides, cancel that today, because there's absolutely no reason to play out of conference games starting in 2024 if you're in the Big Ten or SEC. There's absolutely no reason to do it. You don't benefit from it. There's zero benefit. And one thing I'm concerned about for Tulane is they're out of schedule conferencing, because I think it's unfair that the non-power 2 schools, you have to still schedule out of conference to get your respect. You still have to. It doesn't work both ways. That's why it's bullshit. If you're in the SC or Big Ten, you don't need to do it. But if you aren't, you have to, or else you won't get the respect by the national media voters. It's bullshit. And it's going to piss off a lot of college football fans. If your favorite team isn't in the Big Ten or the SEC, I'm sorry, but like, you're going to get fucked year in and year out now.
Or if you're not them or Clemson, essentially. Even then, Clemson is, I mean,
to a degree,
like the big name.
They could be fine. And like Notre Dame,
the big name.
It's the big, Notre Dame can go 10-2 now. They're not in a conference and they'll just get in. It's absolutely bullshit. Like, to be honest, under the playoff structure, Notre Dame, although they kind of have to go undefeated to get in, they don't have to play 32 games, just 12 games, get in. You're in no matter what. If Notre Dame ever goes undefeated, they're in no matter what. And they get a bye. That's just how it works. It's so stupid. It's dumb as fuck. But that's how it works. Anyone who thinks I'm like half joking right now, like, you open up your eyes. This is how it works. Like, there's clear biases in college football.
Do you have anything else on college football? I have one more thing.
A quick little recruiting update. So just want to start. Massive win, Everett. The biggest recruiting pickup that Ohio State's gotten in years. We landed the number 2 long snapper in the class of 2024. So those special teams are up, baby. We got the number 2 long snapper in the country out of Texas. So we took him right out of UT's backyard. Just stole him from A&M. So those guys are jelly. We got the long snapper, but in all seriousness.
Has there ever been like a 5-star long snapper?
I think for a special teams player, I think there have been 3-star kickers, but that's about it.
I feel like there's been like a 4-star, but I think there's been 4 stars, but yeah.
Definitely 3-star kickers. Long snappers, maybe a 2-star, maybe. I doubt it.
Like, you have to be like an athlete. If you're like an athlete, then yeah.
But still, I doubt it. I don't know though. I don't know. But the real news: 4-star edge Elias Rudolph from Florida has flipped from Michigan to Miami. This update came in a couple days after a rumor started circulating that Ohio State would flip current 4-star Miami edge commit Marquise Lightfoot, who Ohio State wanted really badly in the first place. Now, allegedly,
so they gave him a bag.
Allegedly, Lightfoot ended up committing to Miami under the impression that Dylan Stewart, 5-star edge, Ohio State's number 1 target at edge, would go to Ohio State. He ended up going to South Carolina, which I'm still personally investigating. So Ohio State missed on the number 1 edge target in the class 2024 in Dylan Stewart. So maybe they told Lightfoot, hey, the bag man came back and he re-upped the deal, bro. So come on through. We'll see.
Yeah, Cardale really went deep for that one.
Everett, I just got to say, after all the shit I gave Cardale last year, he listened. He's
actually a water boy enthusiast.
The fuck up in NIL. Like Ohio State, we're still missing out on recruits, but I'm happy that we aren't missing out on them because of NIL anymore. Which, shit, maybe you could say that's a bigger concern, because how are you losing out on recruits if you have the NIL at Ohio State? But at least we have the NIL. That was like last year, there were some players that we couldn't even begin a recruitment with them because we didn't have the NIL. So at least we have that. But that's what I had on my recruiting update. I have my top 10 players in college football for the next season, but I'd like you to do, if you got something else college football.
I got one more thing. So this is making headlines. It's been in and out of the headlines for probably about a week now. If you haven't heard yet, there are significant allegations with Iowa State having players betting on
Just
their own
Iowa.
games.
Just Iowa.
Iowa. No, it's just Iowa. It's just Iowa. Not Iowa State. Just Iowa.
You know, the team notorious with the worst offense in college football. Yeah, those guys.
Yes. So with that being the worst offense, Arlen Bruce the fourth, right? Arlen Bruce, whatever. I don't care about the numerals. Arlen Bruce, who's a wide receiver for Iowa, is one of these players that have been accused. You want to know what the funniest part of this is, and I don't know if you've seen this.
I'm pretty sure.
So he's been accused of betting on Iowa games. He apparently scored
a wide receiver.
He's a wide receiver.
Plays on offense.
Is terrible. He apparently scored a meaningless touchdown that lost him one of his own bets versus Northwestern. It was an over, I believe it was. He had the under. He bet the under 37.5 versus Northwestern, and he scored a last-minute touchdown to put Iowa ahead 32-7.
Yeah, now I have not seen the clip of that, but shit, if you look back on that, and his celebration is a little tame compared to what you'd expect. I think we know why now.
He's like, shit, what did I just do?
My first thought, though, is like, before we get into my opinion on just betting your team under while being a member of that offense, we'll get into that. But just first, now, it has been confirmed that a kicker on Iowa was also betting on Iowa unders. But I'm just going to go out on a limb ever and say there were more than just the receiver and kicker betting on Iowa team unders.
100%.
Go on a limb and say there were more. So Everett, let's.
So wait, no, sorry. Here's the big question.
Wait, Everett, if you are that receiver and you score that touchdown, how much hazing do you think he got in the locker room for losing everyone's bet and hitting the over when everyone had the under, including the offensive coordinator? How much hazing do you think?
Here's the question. Had? Actually, this is not much of a question. This is really the answer to all of our questions. Is the reason why Iowa's offense has been so bad because they've been betting on unders?
Now, this is the thing. Like, Iowa's offense is truly like so bad that
that's the only explanation.
There's a chance that maybe it is a bit of a symbiotic relationship here where, a little bit of both happening. I genuinely believe, though, that Iowa offense was so bad, is so bad. Now, remember, their coach, Kirk Ferentz, his son, is the offensive coordinator, and Iowa fans on those forum boards, they'll let you know their opinion of their Nepo OC. And let's just say, like, if your players are picking the under and you are their offensive coordinator, you should be fired. If your own team doesn't trust you and they are literally putting money on the line, that's how confident they are in your failure. Yeah, you shouldn't be offensive coordinator for a Division I program anymore. Especially not when you're like known as the worst offense in college football. Like, forget in the Big Ten or the Power Five. No. In college football, the whole sport. So, like,
so here's the big question:
players fading your team should have been the final.
Is Cade McNamara going to be betting on the under this year?
Probably. And I wouldn't blame him because Cade McNamara is not going to play in the NFL. He needs to take advantage of all the money he can make right now while still playing.
Yeah, he'll say he got all of it. By the way, he got all of it because his family is an oil tycoon. All right, that's how he's going to get all. His family's from an oil tycoon. All right, it's not from betting.
Yeah, we can quickly dive into that too.
No, but you got to do your list first.
Yeah, we'll hit the list. But yeah, on a last little thing for Iowa, it's just little friends. It's time to wrap it up. Your players are fading you with money. Okay, top 10 players in college football for the 2023 season. A lot of these are entering 2023. I would say, this is probably going into week 1 in a way. But yeah, you want to let's go 10-1. But everyone knows who number 1 is, so maybe we do 1 to 10. Everyone knows it's Caleb. 1 to 10. Okay, all right. Caleb Williams, Marvin Harrison, Brock Bowers, Drake May, Jared Verse, Joe Alt, Olu Fashanu, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dallas Turner, and Harold Perkins. A lot of edges on here. Good amount of tackles on there. Only 2 quarterbacks, just 1 receiver. Brock Bowers on there, who counts as a receiver. I might get some hate. Where's Blake Corum? Yada, yada, yada. Where are all these other things? I believe these 10 players, for what they do for their role, whether it's on offense, defense, blocking, you name it, what these 10 players bring to their respective position groups, that's what I was kind of more so thinking. So slight projections here and there with some of these edges. I mean, Dallas Turner didn't have crazy production.
Also, let's be real here. Honorable mention, Mr. Chad Bailey.
Yeah, my bad, Chad.
Yeah,
my bad, dog. That's on me.
You can't do him like that. But also, with that said, like the players that aren't mentioned, like Blake Corum, right? Blake Corum, we've already ranked as our #1 running back for the season.
Yeah,
like it's not
Blake
disrespecting.
Sucks.
Like, it's not disrespecting him, but I mean, like he's not there. So I mean, coming off an injury too, keep that in mind.
And also, it's like, I guess unfair in a way, but not really. Like certain positions, yeah, just what you do is a little more valuable. Like if you're a quarterback, your job is a little more valuable.
The RB shade it's already back in for college too now.
I hate to say it, but it's just a little more valuable. But okay. That's what I had for college football. You want to dive into quick little Johnny Manziel take?
We talked about it the other week too. Up to whatever you want to. I mean, if you have something to say.
Like after I have seen the Johnny Manziel doc and everything, one thing I just want to say that really stuck out to me was the perception of Johnny Manziel, like, and his dad, seeing how much money Texas A&M was profiting off of Johnny Manziel. Seeing that now from that perspective, I totally understand why Johnny Manziel was so pissed. Like, I totally understand why he was so angry seeing them raise $740 million, saying how they sold 45 million Johnny Manziel jerseys and he got absolute none of it. And he's the reason that A&M even got that money in the first place. So like with that thought process, like, yeah, I'd be pissed off if I was Johnny. This is one thing I'm thinking about though, from a present day college football perspective now with NIL, with college football playoff, conference expansion, yada, yada. Johnny Manziel did so unbelievably much for the future of Texas A&M that I can't even like begin to really outline what he did for that program. So just first things first, they joined the SC that first year from the Big 12. They were mid-tier Big 12. They go 9-3 in the or 8-4, 9-3 the year one, beating Bama. All that shit, like that was literally the reason that they were able to fundraise 740 mil or whatnot. And that literally a couple years later down the line, we saw them go after Kyler Murray. He obviously left, hit the portal, but they were getting guys like him, Speedy Noyle and shit. They got that dude, Myles Garrett, pretty good at football. Like they're starting to now roll and pick up these recruits. And at the time, they got Jimbo Fisher, highest paid college football coach at the time when he signed. So like literally Johnny Manziel proved to the A&M, the actual oil money A&M boosters that, yeah, you can actually buy success in college football. First year that NIL was a thing, Texas A&M has the #1 recruiting class in the country. Go figure. Like literally, Johnny Manziel was the framework to the A&M boosters. Like, hey, we can really do something. With
also,
football.
I mean, to be honest, for as much shit as Johnny Manziel did, that was like not great. And like the partying and everything.
Yeah.
His opinion on the NIL and getting paid and stuff.
Completely correct.
And on top of that, obviously he's trying to be like taking a step back. But if I was A&M and Johnny wanted it, I would offer him be part of the NIL program there, because helping out other players getting that kind of stuff. Like that kind of seems like something that he would be good at doing.
If he'd be interested in doing it. Like I after that documentary, seeing that, like first seeing just like Cliff's opinions on Johnny were hilarious. That Mississippi State game when he was like, yeah, Johnny showed up to walkthroughs on Saturday morning, hungover, sweating bullets. And I went up to him and said, you better fucking play good. Then he, quote, played the best game of his life. I was like, all right, like That's literal movie shit right there. Like that's some Friday Night Lights, like fucking Tim Riggins showing up drunk to the game type shit. Like that's literally what I've never seen Friday Night Lights, but like
I haven't either.
that's like some shit it was. So like that's why I add on Johnny. I just want to say like must watch doc, regardless if you're interested in football or not, or college football.
Yeah, definitely. Really, then go watch the Manti Te'o documentary right after that, because then you get the whole encapsulation of the 2012 season.
Yeah, I would
that's actually crazy.
I would start with the Manti Te'o because they reference the Johnny Manziel like Heisman shit more so in the Te'o doc than Manziel referencing. Yeah.
Kind of low blow to Te'o in that Manziel documentary. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, Colin Klein, my God, no one will remember him ever. Holy shit.
You'd expect Johnny Manziel to be like, yeah, I was up against that dude with the fake girlfriend.
So funny if you said that. But like, I mean, okay. Like, going into that, well, last thing I gotta say, going into it, I was under the impression that Johnny Manziel was by far the Heisman favorite. But like, dude, at a point, like at the time, no freshman had ever won. Like the year after Jameis was.
And what Manti Te'o did that season too, storyline, everything.
Well, Te'o would have been, I believe, the second defensive player to ever win the Heisman if he won it that year too. So like,
there was the first one.
Charles Woodson, but like there were some countering like things there, and like I guess the freshman or I guess
if Colin Klein won it, there's like can't do it,
riots.
Can't be first for
no, riots. we would have revoked that year. Yeah, no, that would
just like they did it to Reggie Bush, free Reggie's Heisman.
Yeah, Ohio State should have won a natty that year. Oh well, okay, all right.